Hello everyone, my name is Nurse. I'm come from team 4 of the two-day class. So today we are going to talk about the strategic management process. Now let's get started. The first part we will talk about the strategic planning. The planning is the process of preparing in the future. Most of the company nowadays become successful in the market simply because they have the good planning or detailed planning or the strategic analysis. However, some of the company become the failures simply because they don't have the good planning. They don't know where they are going, how will they know, and when will they get. In order to have the good planning, the company should follow some steps. The first one is establish the purpose of the company, identify the firm's environments, as mean the internal environment's strength and the weaknesses, and the external environment opportunity and threat. The next one, you can list the possible course of the action and you select the best course of the action. The next one, you prepare for an action plan, and the last step, you can establish the monitor to control the progress. Another way, the planning the process should answer some the question. The first one, who are we? The next one, where are we now? The next question is where could we go or what could we do, what is the best thing for us to do, and the next one, how are we going to do that, or who are we going to do what part. The last question, how are we going to do to the monitor the progress. That's some the basic information about the strategic planning. Now we are moving to the team organization. As you know, each team have the 5 main member, and an airline simulation we have the 5 main position, including the president, vice president of the marketing, vice president of human resources, vice president of operation, and vice president of finance. I will to talk detail some information about the main responsibility of each position. The first position is the vice president. The president have overall coordination, encouragement, making, set the lead time, and making sure the deadline are met. Review financial ratios for insight into for opportunity improvement. The next one, the vice president of the marketing, recommend the advertising the project, the fair, research the markets, or search the strategy of the competitors, work with the vice president of operation for the new growth opportunities on the scheduling. The next one, the vice president of human resources, recommends the compensation, the quality, and the training policy, the strict retentions, and the last one, the reliability. The next one, the vice president of the operation, scheduling and wrap on routes. Work with the marketing to recommend changing existencies of routes and existencies route. Select the best maintenance and the fuels. The financial analyze some of the financial decision like the loan or the certificate of deposit, the select the fuel contract or the sport, and anything relevant to the financial decision. In some case, if your team just have 4 members or the fewer than the 5 members, each of the team member will need to double up to your duties. That's some the information about the team organization and the strategic planning. Now we are going to talk about an important part, the company function. In the company function, we have the 4 parts: the marketing, human resources, operation, and the finance. And now we will talk about the marketing. Before the marketing decision, you will need to identify the customer targets. That means who the customer you want to serve, or how you will serve them, and on what the basic you intend to compete with the other competitors. For example, if you are selling the smartphone, you intend to the high income the markets in the US through the high quality, high the customer service, and especially the multi-function in your smartphone to compete the other competitor in the US like the Apple and another brand like the Samsung. Marketing must be in line with the overall business strategy. One of the Michael Porter three strategies with the marketing strategy. The first strategy is the cost leadership. The cost leadership that the business pursues with the strategy have the lower price, but they want to gain the higher market share. The goal to have the lower cost so their business is so profitable. The next strategy of the Michael Porters is the differentiation. Differentiation, the goal to get the superior performance in one or more areas. That's are important to the customer and typically charge a high price as for the superior performance. The last strategy is the focus. Some the company produce the products or the service that is suitable with the best or the best meet the customer needs. They can focus on the differentiation or the lowest cost, whichever appropriate the customer targets. The marketing mix is the implementation in the marketing strategy. The marketing mix variable refer to 4P. The first one, the products, the place, the price, and promotion. Now we analyze each variable in the marketing mix. The first one, the products. This means anything involved to exchange between the producer and the consumer. In Airline, the products of the airline is transporting the passenger to the destination, and as well as the cabin service and the air wrap. That the consumer can enjoy their experience in your company. The next one, the place is the accessibility or convey the service to the consumer. In an airline, the place is mean the route you choose. If you adding for more the route, you can gain the larger numbers of the passengers, or you can select the route. That means you select the customer you want to serve. And the second place in Airline is the hiring the salesperson to gain the potential the customers. The customer, instead of depending on intermediaries like the travel agency or the online site. The cost for the hiring of the salesperson will be the $3,000, and the salary and the wage for each the salesperson will be the $12,000 per the salesperson. The next one, the price. The price refer to the price per mile or the fair sales. That's in fact the final price to the consumers. However, when you set things the price, you need to perceive the value of your product and make the value of your customers. The last piece is the promotion. The promotion including on activity as demanding of the consumers, including the hiring salesperson to pull your strategy, and advertising and promotion the project. Advertising to inform the customer to know the products, and promotion to get the customer know that the product and to push into the distribution channels. The advertising and the promotion, you can spend from the $3,000 to the $10,000 per the quarters. That is some the information about the marketing. Now we are moving to the human resources. Human resources play an important role in the operation of your business. You need to understand the goal, the structure of the business, the capability and the limitation of the employee in your company. When you understand on anything, you can set goal, and you make a plan to achieve that goal. At the beginning the quarter, you will have the 81 employees, including the manager, pilots, and the station personnel. And the cost for the direct employee will be the $140,000 per the aircraft, including the $40,000 for the pilot and the $60,000 for the manager on each quarter. If you want to decrease the turnover employee, you can pay additional compensation up to the 7% of the prevailing wage for all the employee or a group of employees. Another method, you can pay additional for the employees by the profit sharing or the stock bonus. Profit sharing is paid on 20% the profits previously the quarterly, and the stock bonus. You can spend $5,000 per the aircraft. The employee compensation is the sale of your stock. You can sell of your stock to fund the employee compensation, and the share of the stock. The share of the outstanding will be increased. How about the training and the quality, and how the quality and the training effect is your company? The increasing the project in the quality and the training programs will be increasing the pilots effectively and the employee commitment to the high quality service. Invest more money into this project that will be allocated into the training pilots, maintenance, customer service, and aircraft servicing. That is the human resources. How about the operation? Operation is responsible for the scheduling of the aircraft. You can work with the marketing and the finance to operate effectively. At the beginning, you will have the 3TP300. This is a small and a little bit noisy, but more economy for the shorter routes. However, if you to maintain the regular price model, you could be considered to the larger and the faster for the existing longer routes, or the new routes like for rents or the resource markets. On the other hand, if you choose the uneconomic airline, you could be considered the larger aircraft, because uneconomic markets, you will have larger numbers of the consumers, but you keep in mind the economic airline can still to serve in the shorter routes. How about the luxury airline? The luxury airline, you can acquire the faster, the large, and comfortable aircraft, but you should remember you shouldn't choose the larger the aircraft because you have a difficult in the filling seats on your aircraft. Unless again some the types of aircraft you should choose. It depends on your market you want to shop to the consumers. How about the aircraft? How about the scheduling? The scheduling, different aircraft have the different limitation. If your aircraft over the maximums of the aircraft, you can be fined, and on each route you can choose the one aircraft or the mid-size of the aircraft you want to serve. And except for the resort or the foreign market, you should have more than one flight per day on each aircraft. However, your aircraft will not be able to keep the scheduling simply because you can meet some of the problem that like the weather, especially in the quarter 4 and quarter 8, or the incorrect tickets or the package has some problem. You should refund the fee to the consumers. How about the aircraft maintenance? Because of the federal safety requirements, minimum equipment maintenance schedules are the specific and monitored by the government agency. In addition, if the manufacturer provides a required maintenance, pay or maintenance records on each the model of the aircraft. We have the three levels of maintenance. The level 1 legal maintenance, legal minimum maintenance, aircraft interiors cleaning and exterior cleaning every 9 months, and reasonable part inventory. The level 2 is the legal minimum maintenance, some additional interior cleaning, external cleaning every 6 months, and additional 20% part inventory, which should result in the less downtime for repairing aircraft. And the class level is the level 3, the level highest. Legal minimum maintenance, reference interior cleaning of the aircraft and exterior cleaning every 3 months. An additional 14% of the spare in inventory and the full prevention maintenance programs. We are taught about the three functions of the company. The last function of your company is finance. If you want to increase your cash, I suggest to you three methods. The first one, selling stock. The next one, the short-term loan, and the last one, the long-term loans. The first one, selling stock, is very attractive method because it doesn't affect the interest expense or the additional obligation. However, if you sell more stock, the value of your stock will decrease and you have the lower price of the stock. The next one, the short-term loan. The short-term loan is only interest, and it depends on your company condition, financial condition, and the annual rate is the 10%. How about the short-term loan? The short-term loan with a fixed rate of the 9% as a 12 years terms, and 2% of the balance is automatically repaid each quarter along with the interest. However, if your cash outflow exceeds or more than the cash available, the bank will be issue automatically the amounts of the overdraft, adding to the short-term balance. The interest of the amounts of the overdraft will be 2 times compared to the interest of the short-term loan balance for 1 quarter, and the another amount will be added to the interest expense in the following the quarters. Some the company with the surplus cash by they purchase the certificate of the deposit. It is called the CDs or stock dividend for the shareholder. The last part I want to talk about the purchase and the lease aircraft. How to the purchase and the lease aircraft effectively. If you want to the purchase aircraft, you should have the sufficiency the cash available cash to purchase it. And that's the aircraft become under access of your company, and the depreciation of this aircraft will be 1.75% of original values. However, if you don't have sufficiency the cash to buy the aircraft, you can lease the aircraft is cover financials and not including the maintenance and the staffing expense. However, if you want to the purchase aircraft but you have a little bit of cash only, I will give you some example. The cost of I assume that the cost of the aircraft will be $2,000,000. However, you can sell in the 20% of the cost of aircraft. about the $400,000, and you just borrow from your bank will be the $1,060,000 and the depreciation of your aircraft you want to the purchase will account for 1.75%. That means you spend you spend for the depreciation will be $35,000, and the interest you should pay for the long-term loan you borrow to buy the aircraft will be the 9%. That means $36,000, and the quarter is spent to the in order to the purchase this aircraft will be $71,000. If the fee for the leasing the aircraft is less than the fees for the purchase aircraft, you should leasing the aircraft in order to save your money. How in one case, if you have aircraft, you want to expand your the market, you want to advance your the aircraft, and you can selling your the aircraft, you just lost 1% for the broker's fees. That's on some the information about the marketing, operation, human resources, and financing. When you make when you finish on the function the decision on airline simulation, that is the sample of the result about the net profit, the stock price, the passenger load, the factors, the yield per available 6 miles, the cost per available 6 miles, and the quality rating. I will explain a little bit about some the terminologies. The first one, the stock price. The stock price is the measure of the value the market places on your company. The market capitalization is the stock price times the number of the share outstanding. The gross revenue. The gross revenue, that is the revenue of your company that you pay you pay the tickets, including the tax, operation expense, and extras. How about the net profit? The net profit is revenue less on expense in an account period. The net profit is the amount of the revenue left over the shareholder after operating expense and interest and tax. The passenger load factor. The passenger load factor, you can call the load factor, measure how will the aircraft utilize by showing the percentage of the seats on the flights. The passenger load factors is calculated by the revenue passenger seats divided the available 6 miles. The yield per available 6 miles. This is the measure the effectiveness of the airline, the pricing, the policy. We take into account fare shares and the load factors. The yields per available 6 miles equal the gross revenue divided available the 6 miles. And the last one, the cost per the available 6 miles indicates how much is the costing to fly 1 miles, and it is calculated by the cost divided the 6 available 6 miles. The cost is the sum, it means that the sum of the total operating expense, commission, refund, and interest expense. Reliabilities. Refund must be paid to the consumer when the consumer are unable to fly in some the problem like the incorrect the ticket or the weathers. Refund equal 1 minus reliability equal 1 minus refund divided revenues. And the last one, the quality rating. The quality rating, this is the measure the public perception about your product. If the quality rating of your company is a 50, it is poor, and if it 100, it's excellent. Actually, the quality can be different than the perceived quality, and the quality is impacted by the maintenance and the HR decision. that's all information I am taught to you in our presentation. Thank you for your listening and wishing you have a successful project in this semester.